All right. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube, this is Pastor Dowell. My shy in there, my wife, just got finished reading an article from Yahoo News, and she wanted my opinion, my take on it. And what Yahoo News is reporting is that a lot of melanated, black and brown skinned Americans are fleeing to the Caribbean, tomatoes, whatever way you want to phrase it, all right? Because of the oppression that's going on here in America. Now, and the reason why that she's asking me my opinion, because she's been to the Caribbean. I have been there. I've actually had boots on the ground in the Dominican Republic. I've been to Jamaica, even been to Mexico. So I've been to these what you call third world countries. I've been to these places. And I've been out on the economy of these third world countries. As a matter of fact, and I even been in the townships of these third world countries. I've been in the place. I'll give you an example of the DR. I've been in DR and they got a total different, I mean, the whole entire infrastructure and everything is like the way it used to be here in the 50s and 60s. That's the way it's like on the whole entire economy, especially when you go outside of the resorts. A lot of people, when they go on vacation to these beautiful paradise islands and stuff, they try to compare the resorts to the whole country. And they got it wrong. They got it big time wrong because it is utter poverty over there. Utter poverty over there. And because a lot of people don't understand, and because people haven't traveled much, there's a wise saying over in the scriptures that says a man that has traveled much knows much. All right. So I've been to these places. I've been in the Caribbean. I literally have been there. I've been, again, I've eaten out on the economy with the people. I've actually had talks with the people out there, even though my Spanish is very bad. But in Jamaica, it's English, so I didn't have any problem. But in DR, we had definitely, I had to try to really think hard to try to carry on a conversation with them. But it's nothing to see 2-3-year-old children walking down the streets by themselves. And I'm talking about in the countryside. Everybody there's business is to sell food. Everybody's trying to have a little small restaurant or something. Or they got little stands on the side of the road, side of the street, because there's literally no jobs there at them places. None whatsoever at all. I can understand you could probably go there maybe in the townships and stuff, but you better be able to, if you go to the DR, you better be fluent in Spanish and know how to, and French. You better know how to speak it, and speak it good too. And if you go to Jamaica, man, when I say that the economy looks like America used to look in the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s, meaning you wasn't around. Your whole view of any other country that you go to in the world is when you click on here and look at the resorts. The resorts, sure, they look like a paradise because it's a billion-dollar industry for those places down there. That's how they keep themselves thriving and afloat down there. Certain rich people do, because even the resorts down at those places, like in Jamaica or the Dominican Republic, the Spaniards own it over across the pond where the Europeans are. The Spaniards own it, or some Europeans own it, and they have their faces plastered all up there. But it ain't what you think it is. And I remember being in Jamaica, and I forget where I was going in Jamaica. Man, I need to start retaining these places in Jamaica. But I remember because I've been there twice. I remember when Carol and I was down in Jamaica and stuff, and we was going out on the economy. All right, going out on the economy. Now, they don't recommend that for a lot of people to go out on the economy because the crime in Jamaica is just like it is in Chicago. It's bad. And so you'll have at every check, they got checkpoints out there to where you've got these soldiers, not police, soldiers armed with M16s. And probably, I would say less than 1% of the people in those countries actually own firearms. I would probably say less than 1%. And when I say that less than 1%, I say that the police and the criminals do, because I don't think they allow you to even have any firearms. And if you go to if you don't have any firearms, you don't have a way to protect yourself. You don't have a way to preserve yourself or your liberties. All right. And then you have to go and learn a whole new culture and all this other stuff. I understand. And then somebody said, because my comment to Carol is what they need to do is they need to stay here and fight. That's what they need to do. They literally need to stay here and fight. And of course, she says, yeah, I read that. I mean, I read in an article that they've addressed it. They say, well, some people will say stay here and fight. You know, for instance, nobody ever says nothing to anyone if they're a European or whatever, if they go to make a better life for themselves in another place in the world. Nobody ever says anything. All right. No, they don't. They don't never, ever say anything. No, they don't. And it's, hey, good for them. Good for them. But I'm not telling you that you can't go there and make a better life. I'm just telling you that the struggle is real. You want to go there, you being led there, go there. That's like in the Hebrew community. You got people that want to leave America and go to Africa, and they ain't never been to Africa. They don't know nothing about Africa. The only thing they know about Africa is what they see on videos. That's all they know about Africa. Most of you people here in America, when you talk about fleeing to the Caribbean or Africa or something like that, you're not used to third world country. Listen. I remember when I was in Honduras, I was on the countryside down there. All right. In the countryside down. I mean, you people don't get it. You really, truly don't get it. Listen, I hope this statement right here resonates with you and it resonates real well. All right. When you're talking about fleeing to one country to try to get out of oppression, to try to better yourself somewhere else, first of all, you need to know the culture and the history of everything that has gone on and know what you're getting ready to get into. But you think about this for a second. When you're thinking about this stuff, most of you have never, ever dealt with extreme poverty. You've never, ever dealt with that. You don't know what it is in there. At least in America, you can go to a food bank or you can go beg for food on the road or side of. You can't do that over there. You literally cannot do that over there. It don't work like that. And it is hot down there. It gets hot down there. And most of you can't even stand the heat. You don't even work outside. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to give you a little bit of understanding about things that you may want to consider. I'm not trying to deter you in any way, shape, fashion, or form. But man, when you have never, ever, ever, ever lived in deplorable conditions to where you don't have air conditioning, all you got is fans. And some of us live here in America and some in the South in the hot areas. Can you imagine? I mean, I lived right here in this community that I developed right here. Myself and a brother. I lived on this land 9 years with just a fan. No air conditioning. Myself and the brothers and sisters. Oh, you can do it. And I'm going to say it again, the struggle is real. But man, when you go to a place that you have nobody knows you. It's the same thing that goes on in America when nobody knows you. You don't have too many benevolent people that's going to stick it out for you and everything. I'm serious. Now, if you are going to the place you want free oppression, you better be able to go and have a lot of money on you to where you can be able to sustain yourself for a long period of time. That's what you better do. That's what you better do. I mean, if you really want to flee oppression of American stuff, I mean, I know you're going to think I'm off the rocker, but why not go to Thailand? Go to Thailand where your money stretches 3 times the amount than it does over here in America. It sure does. You can actually get a beachfront property down there in Thailand and stuff and live pretty good. But see, no. I know. Pastor Dowell, he don't know what he's talking about. He don't know what he's talking about. I know it. Again, a man that has traveled much knows much. I mean, it's just the truth. It's just literally the truth. But if you can't defend yourself, and mind you, you have bandits. you have bandits down there, boy. You got some people down there. People, you don't never know that when you're down there that somebody may come and want to raid your home. And you're the new kid on the block. Man, there's much to be desired. But don't make any moves hasty whatsoever at all. But again, this is not a video to deter you. I tell you one thing. The first thing I would do if I was considering moving to a place like that, the very first thing I would do is look to see how I can get some of these right here at my home before I get there. How can I get them into the country? And how can I get at least 50 to 100,000 rounds down there as well? That's what you better look at. But I'm telling you, because them Jamaicans down there, man, they're killing each other just like they doing up here in Chicago, Illinois. And guess what they both got in common? In Illinois, there's laws. Some of the strictest gun laws in the country is right there in Illinois. Also, over in Jamaica, strictest gun laws. And there's only two types of people that have them: the police and the criminals. And I'm telling you, if you're going to get one of them villas down there in Jamaica, you better get ready to shell out a lot of money, especially if it's close to the city. Now, because you do have different classifications of lifestyle. You have your wealthy, you have your middle class, and your poor, just like you do over here in America. But the poor over here, including the bum that lives under a bridge, he lives better than 80% of the population in the Caribbean. Yes, he does. At least he does have access to a garbage can that he can actually go and get some food. Or he can sit out here and peddle and beg for money. It's bad. It ain't what you think it is. And if you ever been there on a vacation and you've been to one of these resorts, don't you think that the resort is a reflection of the whole entire country? Because it is not. It just simply is not. So, hey, I just thought I'd give you my personal opinion on this. Again, I'm not trying to deter you. What I am doing is I'm giving you an eyewitness account of someone who has literally had boots on the ground in these areas, in these places, to try to let you know exactly what you more likely would be dealing with. So therefore, you can make an informed decision. I hope that my speech didn't deter you in any way, shape, fashion, or form. You want to go better yourself. You believe you're going to be bettering yourself. You better do your study and research first. You better have a game plan and approach, and you better have a lot of money to be able to sustain yourself. And because if you're looking for a job over there, you can all just about forget it. You think it's bad in America, man, you ain't seen nothing yet till you went over there, till you go over there. And that's the truth. And that's the true straight way.